For those who lived in a place like this, when we lose that, it's a trauma. Losing that is traumatic. Do you understand what I mean?
You know, as you're going over the rainforest in a plane, you look down and you can imagine all this diversity, the morpho butterflies and the parrots.
All ancient civilizations have disappeared for the same reason, resource depletion. And now, we repeat the same mistake.
If we change our perception and we recognize that nature is a great ally, a great inspiration, we would really change the way we behave towards the planet.
We all know that one of the most aggressive activities on the environment is agriculture, but there is knowledge and technology to do things differently.
To me, agroforestry is a system inspired by nature.
To me, that's truly taking the rainforest as a model, right? The structure of the rainforest grants the function of abundance, really.
And this is not so well known. Agroecology is a major tool in fighting climate change.
Science has been advancing to interpret the concept of agroforestry in a more integrated way. We can describe agroforestry as any scheme that combines forestry with agriculture or livestock.
Do componente florestal com componente agrícola com componente pecuário.
There weren't many films about agroforestry 10 years ago, and we decided to look for cases to film them and to learn from them. Among several great experiences we've seen out there, one really caught our attention. That was Syntropic Agriculture from Gotsch.
Living off the forest, producing food in it. I can show you it works.
Syntropy, as opposed to entropy, is a process that goes from simple to complex, and earth farming follows the same logic, as all interactions help to promote a positive energy balance in the system.
One of Ernst's characteristics is that behind his farming techniques, there's a very refined set of principles.
It's a combination of science-based knowledge with the practical intelligence and sensibility of someone who's been farming since the age of 3.
He managed to systematize his work in a way that allowed the principles to be replicated anywhere else, regardless of climate, soil condition, and acreage.
We looked for examples. We met João and Romulo in Brazil, two of Ernst's students who have been dispersing a scheme for intensive horticulture combined with forestry implemented in degraded soils. Nowadays, when we see their land, it looks like a small oasis in the middle of a region that has suffered from agro-mining and fire.
We needed to find a regenerative system that works. It needed to be productive and profitable, because sustainability has to be economic and social and environmental.
The objective of our work is to restore the soil through horticulture and fruit production. The key is vegetation succession combined with spacing and stratification through time, and then the pruning. The pruning of timber, banana, and fruit trees. The constant bring down of organic material from pruning is one of the highlights of Ernst's work, which I'd never seen. We have to achieve the agronomic efficiency so we can produce food, restoring soil fertility, meeting market demand, and also being happy. That's the idea.
This area is 2.5 years old. This system produces its own organic matter as a result of pruning. I don't need to bring any organic matter from outside. There is no energy loss. Here the fertilizer doesn't go away, as opposed to conventional agriculture, organic or not. When we use fertilizer, we transform 1 into 500. I mean, not us, the agroforestry does it. 1 into 500. In conventional agriculture, organic or not, we have to give 1. We might end up with 0.3. After a while, we have to give 2 to achieve the same result, because conventional agriculture doesn't work in favor of life processes. Here we benefit from the forest dynamics, which is the engine that runs the planet, allowing it to breathe and support life through agroforestry.
At the time of harvesting, the soil will be better than it was when we started.
That's my dream. Let's grow forests and manage them to demonstrate that the process of creating forests produces food, and the forest produces food. I was amazed by the new world of possibilities to take ecology into practice instead of just saying it.
The range of possibilities is huge. Because when we understand how natural succession works, combining it with food production, which is the planet's natural technology, we become part of the planet's mechanism, synchronizing our work with it. That's Ernst's work. He understands forest dynamics and he puts food production to run on the planet's engine. That's the work of abundance. And that's the path towards abundance. It ensures me I'm on the right path, working to create areas of permanent inclusion of humans instead of areas of permanent protection from humans. This is the beginning of that.
Another experience in a very different context involves an entrepreneur who is facing the challenges of large-scale production near Sao Paulo. It is about an organic farm structured as a company, which implemented an applied research project in biodiverse systems adapted to large areas.
On this side, we implemented an organic timber crop disregarding organic matter in the soil. The mulchy bed Ernst designed makes a huge difference. That system is 6 months older than this one. Hair looks much nicer, even though it's younger.
The project takes place in a very sandy soil, which is very sensitive to degradation.
When I told Ernst I bought this land, I said that the soil was poor, too sandy. He said no, poor soils don't exist. Now take a look at what we've done in 18 months. It's incredible.
Can you see? It's no longer sand. It's clearly developed a structure. For soil researchers, it's fascinating.
I have studied agroecology, or regenerative agriculture as it is also called, for many years. And I also visited some farms and some gardens and some fields. But here at Fazenda da Toca, I saw it for the first time on a large scale, and I was extremely impressed.
Nowadays, the environment and the economy face large-scale challenges. Therefore, we need to look for large-scale solutions as well.
For the last 7 years, Syntropic Agriculture has been adapted to large areas.
The principles are the same. The challenge is designing systems where machinery can be integrated.
This project is a conclusion of what Ernst and I have been working on for many years.
It's a process-based agriculture rather than an input-based. The design and maintenance replaces fertilizers and even irrigation.
It doesn't cost more if compared to areas with herbicide use, but we'll benefit from the great advantage of creating life, not killing life. The difference is enormous because it reflects in soil structuring, in soil fertility, in its capacity to retain water.
I believe that is one of Ernst's features. He is able to lead the enemy, in this case the baraka grass, to collaborate with the system. Instead of exploring resources, let's increase them. That's Syntropy.
To Ernst, pruning is the fuel of transformation. It's the pruning that boosts the system's metabolism to work at its peak efficiency, constantly increasing resources.
That's one of Syntropy's principles.
Pruning brings several benefits. It makes plants increase root activities, changing its mycorrhiza. One of the consequences of the new metabolism is the production of gibberellic acid, which makes plants grow. New growth strengthens their symbiotic relationships with bacteria and fungi, resulting in nutrients production. This process is the fertilization of the field. Pruning has a third effect on plants. The photosynthesis rate of pruned plants is higher than non-pruned ones. More photosynthesis means more sequestered carbon, and it also means that more sunlight is being used, cooling the environment. Cooler environment means more water.
That's great news. People say, let's invent a machine to sequester carbon. No, we already have a fantastic productive system that sequesters lots of carbon. Beyond that, it produces food, timber, anything we want, promotes biodiversity, and gives dignity to peasant labor.
What you're doing is extraordinary. If we brought an executive of a big company of Finza de Toka, he or she would realize that people here are using machines, people are planting eucalyptus. This can cause a beneficial change, rebooting systems, paradigms, and beliefs.
I was really impressed because I live off my farm. I need to sell my production. If I don't sell, I can't live. I couldn't see how to make agriculture possible without a conventional package. In the workshop, I realized it is possible.
There are things happening here that I couldn't possibly imagine in my best dreams. Here's my thinking, but it's not only that, it's not only ideology, it's happening, we saw it.
Let's bring regenerative practices beyond sustainability. Let's make a positive impact.
Here, you have the possibility to make a reference mark. You can say in Finza de Toka, it's possible.
If in such a short time the guys from Brasilia and Fazenda de Toca experience all that, imagine a farm that has been managed that way for the last 40 years. We bought this farm in 1984. At that time, the farm was known as dry land. The farm had been completely deforested by the previous owner who owned a sawmill. My major challenges at the beginning was lack of water and strong winds. So I started to plant according to the dynamics of natural succession. But the big change happened some years later. As the trees grew, I started thinning them and pruning the remaining ones. That was the turning point. That changed everything.
Ernst reforested 1,200 acres, and nowadays his farm is considered one of the most fertile and biodiverse fragments of the Atlantic rainforest.
With reforestation, the temperature dropped, the climate changed dramatically, the soil changed completely.
In 2015 was the first time we managed to shoot some aerial footage of Ernst's farm. It was very impressive because as we see that huge forest down there, it was hard to imagine it as a highly productive area, but it is. It's also where he produces some of the finest and most expensive cocoa beans in the world.
In the last years, the dynamics of the forest began to radiate off the farm. So the microregion is being influenced by it, causing an increase in rainfall. Nowadays, all the 17 streams have water all year round, even during the driest periods.
Humans could reconcile themselves with the planet, finding their way to be useful and welcomed in the system. But we don't realize that we can't see because we have disconnected ourselves from life on the planet, thinking that we are the intelligent ones. We can't see that we are just part of an intelligent system.